You can already begin to imagine what it would be like in the future when you look back on this very moment and realise it was the turning point. Because every life has turning points. Moments when you wake up and say, fuck, I can't keep living the same loops. This ends here. And the interesting thing is, the brain already knows how to unfreeze patterns. It does it naturally. Synapses loosen, maps destabilize, critical periods open, like doors in the mind, and the unconscious begins to rewire itself. Now think about this like a movie with two alternative timelines. Timeline 1, you resist, you ignore the call. In the short term, nothing changes, a fake comfort. In the medium term, the same cycles repeat. Procrastination, self-doubt, all fears. The same arguments with yourself and others. In the long term, the grooves deepen. Your wiring calcifies. You become a prisoner in a brain you refused to renovate. And the bitter truth, that's death in life. Timeline 2, you act, you embrace the rewiring. In the short term, it feels exciting, terrifying, alive. In the medium term, your habits shift without forcing. You catch yourself surprising yourself. In the long term, you don't just change, you evolve. You wake up in futures you couldn't even imagine before. Relationships heal, creativity flows, your sense of self expands. And as you imagine both timelines now, your unconscious is already choosing which one feels better. When you rewire yourself, it's not just about you, it's about the people around you. Because humans are tuning forks. Your children, your friends, your co-workers, they resonate with your state. One person's shift becomes a ripple, a domino, a chain reaction. So when you let go of old neural maps, you're not just breaking your patterns, you're breaking ancestral loops. You're planting new futures into the soil of generations. That's why the karma of this is immense. And isn't it curious how confusion feels like chaos, but really it's a gift? Because when the old map doesn't fit, the unconscious loosens the wiring. And in that looseness, you can slide in new meanings. Confusion is just the crowbar that pries open the lock. And once the lock is open, you can walk right through into a bigger life. Now picture yourself 5 years from now, having rewired again and again, stories and metaphors hitting you like keys and locks. Notice how people react to you. Damn, you're different. You're magnetic. What changed? And you just smile because you know. Now chunk it up 20 years. Your kids, or their kids, or the people you mentor, they're thriving because you chose to unfreeze your maps. You chose to melt the caterpillar soup and grow wings. You chose the forest over the weeds. That's legacy. That's immortality. Now shrink back to the present and recognize that all of that begins here. One decision, one willingness to let the wiring loosen and reorganize. So you can go ahead and allow the old maps to unfreeze. Install new beliefs with ease. Surprise yourself with new behaviours. Feel lighter, freer, more fluid each day. Because it's already happening. You're already rewiring as you hear these words. And it's fun. It's dramatic. It's life-changing. So here's the truth. Every story that hits you, every metaphor that makes you pause, that's your unconscious whispering. This is the moment. Pay attention. And you can either laugh, play, lean into it, or you can close the door and keep living the same stale script. But you already know. Your unconscious has decided. And the next time you catch yourself changing, without trying, without forcing, you'll remember this moment as the seed. Because the ripples, they're already spreading. The forest is already growing. The wings, they're already forming. And the deeper truth, you're not learning this, you're remembering it. And you're installing it now. So it unfolds naturally, effortlessly, consciously and unconsciously for the rest of your life.